Hello, and welcome to Fantasy Football by Ben. Today I will be doing my tight end and wide receiver rankings. First, I'll do wide receivers 1 through 30, then tight ends 1 through 15. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and hit the bell. Thank you, it's much appreciated. Alright, for my wide receiver 1 this week, I have DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is going against the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are giving up the second most fantasy points to receivers. And DeAndre Hopkins has been a beast this year, leading the league in receiving yards. You're not sitting DeAndre Hopkins this week. 2 this week is basically off my bold prediction. I have Michael Thomas against the Panthers. Michael Thomas is somebody that if he plays, you're not going to sit him. And I expect a really big week out of him. 3, I have Davante Adams against the Texans. The Texans have not been good against the pass. And I've heard that he's being covered by Bradley Robby. I don't know how good Bradley Robby is, but Davante Adams is very good, and last week he had 10 targets, and they didn't look good, so I don't know how many he's going to get this week, but I have him at number 3. Number 4, I have Tyreek Hill at the Broncos. Tyreek Hill is somebody that you just don't sit. Tyreek Hill has a touchdown every single game except for the last game, and it was pouring. And Kenny Golladay against the Falcons. Kenny Golladay is somebody that you don't sit, and Matthew Stafford is going to get him the ball, and it's the Falcons. You play whoever you can against the Falcons. Calvin Ridley, I have at number 6. Calvin Ridley's the number 1 wide receiver right now. I don't think you're sitting Calvin Ridley any week. Stefon Diggs has not had a game. I have number 7. I have Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs has not had a game under 15 fantasy points in full PPR this year. Number 18, I have Julio Jones against the Lions. Julio Jones is coming off a huge week. Not sitting Julio Jones. A.J. Brown versus the Steelers is interesting because the Steelers, as I did say, are a very good defense, but A.J. Brown is by far Ryan Tannehill's favorite target this year so far, so I have him ranked way up there. At number 10, I have Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is coming off a really good week as well. Andy Dalton didn't look great, and so I think that this will be where Cooper is going to help him out a little bit. At number 11, I have DK Metcalf at Cardinals. DK Metcalf has been very consistent this year. 4 catches, 90-plus yards, a touchdown. I think he'll do that against the Cardinals. There's no reason why he wouldn't. Number 12, I have Allen Robinson at Rams. Allen Robinson is the best receiver on the Bears. Nick Foles is a good quarterback. I expect Allen Robinson to finish in the top 12 this week. Number 13, I have Terry McLaurin versus the Cowboys. Terry McLaurin has been very good, and the Cowboys have been very bad. So I think it's just he's gonna get volume. He's gotten volume all year. He's gonna get catches. Number 14, I have Will Fuller versus the Packers. Will Fuller is coming off a really big game as well. I like this matchup for Will Fuller. He's probably going to get covered by Jair, and I think it's going to be a really fun game to watch with those two. Number 15, I have Chris Godwin at Raiders. The Raiders have not been good against the pass this year, and Chris Godwin I think is better than Mike Evans, and I think Brady likes him better than Mike Evans. So I put him 2 spots ahead of Mike Evans. At number 16, I have Keenan Allen against the Jaguars because I have Justin Herbert throwing for 350-plus passing yards, so who's he throwing it to? Probably Keenan Allen. For number 17, I have Mike Evans at Raiders. Mike Evans is coming off a game with 1 catch for 10 yards. Mike Evans is the touchdown-dependent guy over Godwin, and I just have him lower than Chris Godwin by 2 spots. I don't know which one's going to get more passes this week. I think it's going to be Godwin, but I don't know. Evans has the higher touchdown upside. Number 18, I have Robert Woods versus the Bears. Bears are tough, and Fuller's probably going to be on him, so that's even tougher. But I like Robert Woods. He's been great this year. I have Robert Woods at 18. Number 19, I have Robby Anderson at Saints. Saints haven't been great on the outside, and he probably won't get Marshawn Lattimore. He might, but he probably won't. But, I mean, Robby Anderson's a 100-yard game guy, so I like Robby Anderson this week. At number 20, I have Odell at Bengals. Well, so the Bengals are actually not horrible against wide receivers this year. They're okay. They're not great, but they're okay. And so I think Odell is going to be a good play this week. I have him at like a mid-end wide receiver too. 21, I have Tyler Lockett at Cardinals. I think DK Metcalf will get most of the work against the Cardinals, but Tyler Lockett wouldn't surprise me if he gets like a touchdown or two. And so that's why I have him ranked so good, because I think that's his role this year, is he's their red zone guy, because Metcalf's getting deep touchdowns. Number 22, I have Cooper Kupp versus the Bears. The Bears' defense all around is very good. And so Cooper Kupp running out of the slot is kind of tough. I don't know if I can expect as much out of him as I can expect out of Robert Woods this week, but we'll see. I might have to change up my rankings next week. Number 23, I have CeeDee Lamb at football team. CeeDee Lamb had a pretty good connection late in the game with Andy Dalton, and that was good to see. So I think that that's going to be a good duo going forward. I'll probably end up moving him up in the future, which is good. At number 24, I have Chase Claypool at Titans. Chase Claypool, he had a couple good catches last week, and I mean, he had that one deep ball where he caught it and toe tap sideline, and then James Conner ran it in. But Chase Claypool is a great play every week. I feel like he's been getting volume, and I don't know if Deontay Johnson's going to play this week, so Chase Claypool is my guy right now over Deontay Johnson, even Juju. DJ Moore, I have at 25 at Saints. This one's tough because I think he's going to end up getting Marshawn Lattimore on him, and that'll help Robby Anderson out because DJ Moore will take away their best corner potentially. And so I have DJ Moore further down because he's got a tougher matchup, but I think that him and Robby Anderson are very similar players. Robby Anderson is having a better year though, so I'm going to rank Robby Anderson higher. 26, I have Tyler Boyd versus the Browns. The Browns have actually surprisingly been horrible as a secondary, but it's because their whole secondary is banged up. But Tyler Boyd plays out of slot, so that's really going to help the fact of him running routes and then getting open because they have their slot corner is really bad. 27, DJ Chark at Chargers. DJ Chark is coming off a game with 14 targets, so I don't know what to expect from him this game. I would assume he's going to get similar targets, but I don't know. 28, I have Darius Slayton at Eagles. Eagles secondary hasn't been good. Sterling Shepard should be back, though, and that might get some pressure off of Darius Slayton, so I have him ranked at 28. 29, I have T. Higgins versus the Browns. Like I said, Browns are banged up. Browns aren't that great of a secondary right now. I have T. Higgins at 29 because I think that he's got the best outside opportunity. I think A.J. Green had one big game, and maybe that'll be it for the year. At number 30, I have Juju. Juju, I think, is interesting because he did not play good at all last game, and I'm hesitant to put him at 30 right now, and so we're going to stick with it, but just know I'm hesitating to do that. Okay, let's get started with the tight ends. So, at number 1, tight end, I have Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce at the Broncos. Travis Kelce has been the most consistent tight end this year, and it's not even close. At number 2 this week, I have George Kittle. I feel like the Patriots are going to try to take George Kittle out of this game, but how do you take out a team's offense? Kyle Shanahan's a smart coach. I'm sure he'll figure out some things for George Kittle, and I'm sure he'll get touches to be the number 2 tight end this week. All right, tight end number 3, Darren Waller versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's tough. Tampa Bay's got really good linebackers, but Darren Waller's a guy that you just do not sit. Number 4, this one could be controversial. I have TJ Hawkinson at Falcons. Falcons are giving up so many fantasy points to tight ends and wide receivers this year that anybody that plays against them is pretty much going to have a good game. I think TJ Hawkinson's bound for at least a touchdown, and I think that he's a tight end 4 this week. Number 5, Evan Ingram at Eagles. Eagles give up a lot of fantasy points to tight ends, and Evan Ingram's been playing well the last couple weeks. I think that he's going to be good this week. Dalton Schultz at football team as my number 6. Dalton Schultz has actually surprisingly been really, really good after the injury of Blake Jarwin. And so going up against a team that's giving up a lot of fantasy points to tight ends, and Dalton Schultz coming off a pretty good game. I trust that he's going to be very good this week. Number 7, I have Robert Tonyan at Texans. Robert Tonyan's interesting because he didn't practice today, and he looked banged up in the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and so I wonder if he's going to stay healthy and if he's going to play this week. At number 8, I have Hunter Henry versus the Jaguars. Jaguars give up a lot of fantasy points to tight ends, and Hunter Henry has been very consistent this year, and he's not like scoring touchdowns or anything, but he's been very consistent. At number 9, I have Eric Ebron at Titans. This one's interesting because I'll probably move Eric Ebron down if Deontay Johnson is a go for Sunday. And so right now I have Eric Ebron at 9, but most likely he'll be further down if Deontay Johnson's back. Number 10, I have Rob Gronkowski at Raiders. And Rob Gronkowski is coming off of a really big game, and I think that he's a guy that you're going to want to play this week because I think he'll have another great week. Number 11, I have Austin Hooper at Bengals. Austin Hooper this year has been very inconsistent, but at the same time, I think Baker likes him a lot, and he'll throw the ball to him. And if Case Keenum's the quarterback, which I don't know if he is or not, he was last game at the end of the game, but Austin Hooper looked good, and they look good as a team, so I'd stick with Austin Hooper if you're playing him. Number 12, Jimmy Graham at Rams. Jimmy Graham has been very stellar for Nick Foles, and Nick Foles likes to target him, so that's good. But Jimmy Graham against the Rams are actually pretty good against tight ends this year, and I don't know if I want to play Jimmy Graham over any of those 11 guys ahead of him. Number 13, I have Hayden Hurst versus the Lions. Hayden Hurst last week was a top 5 tight end finish, and it was because he caught the touchdown. Hayden Hurst actually might have a really good matchup this week, but with Julio being back and Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage and all of them, I don't know if I trust Hayden Hurst this week as being a good tight end play. Number 14, I have Jared Cook versus the Panthers. The Panthers give up a lot of fantasy points to tight ends, and Jared Cook is somebody that I really think will have a big week, but he's kind of flying under the radar for people. Number 15, Jonnu Smith. He's hurt right now. As of right now, he's not practicing and stuff, so that could be filled in by a different tight end in the future, but right now I have Jonnu Smith, and I'm going to stick with it. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Peace.